answer this one for me, pal, when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
Thus far, to this date, they've lost what? Have they lost it all? Is it out the window? Playoffs? The division? What have they lost thus far?
They've lost any margin of error they think they might have had by being good the rest of the year. They got no room. They got no room for bad stretches. They got no room for injuries. They have no room to make the playoffs. Forget about Vegas, like 20 points ahead of them. Forget about the division. Someone making the playoffs. That's how much, a 2-8-1, whatever it is that they started out with. And given the talent of, Vancouver looks really good. The Kings might look better than Vancouver, and Vegas might look better than them both. So, catching any one of those guys is going to be impossible. Anaheim is a different conversation. So, that's what they've done. Jack Campbell on waivers, was it Calvin Pickard going to be the answer? I mean, respectfully, I hope he is, but I'm not counting on it. The whole bunch of stuff needs to change, but that's what they've lost. Oh, they've lost any sort of margin because it's got to be right starting tomorrow. And I'm always I don't want guys to lose their jobs or guys to get demoted, but I do like a little bit of chaos in the world of hockey. And San Jose, who I think plays tonight, I kind of hope San Jose gets bludgeoned tonight by Philly, and it goes in and it's that San Jose team coming off of multiple bad losses playing Edmonton in you obviously have to win that game just to see how that one plays out. That would probably the chaos in me would appreciate that night.
Wow, is that going to be something? And yeah, I mean, Pierre brought this up earlier. You look at the wild card right now in the West, and it's so early. I mean, things are going to change. But
there's
Anaheim,
70 games left.
Anaheim, yeah, but we're talking. That's where we're at, though, Noodles. We're talking wild card right now. I didn't see this coming with Edmonton 11 games in, but it's right. Anaheim, St. Louis, Arizona, Nashville, Minnesota, Seattle. It's not. Yeah, it's not that far out of reach for them. They're better than those teams. They're not playing like it. They're playing like they're a mess. They are a mess.
Yeah,
terrible.
The middle is very muddy right now in both conferences, right? Everyone's a game above 500 or a game below 500. So, yes. But to get back to 500, they got to run off 6 in a row. They don't look like a team with that goaltending to run off 6 in a row, as great as McDavid and Draisaitl have been. So, yeah, they're not far. But we know how hard it is to leapfrog teams. Every team gets 6 out of 10 points. So you get 8 out of 10. You make up 2 in 5 games. You make up 4 in 10 games. You make up 8 points in 20 games where you're winning 4 out of 5. That's what you're talking about. So you start running the numbers. It feels close, but it's actually further than it feels.
Well, we looked up the FanDuel odds as well of, where they're at and the chances of them still winning the cup and all that. And FanDuel's they're reluctant to sell on this team because, they're plus 550 to win the West. Only Colorado, Vegas, and Dallas are ahead of them. That's to come out of the Western Conference. To win the Pacific, they're still only behind Vancouver, LA, Vegas. In other words, ahead of all the other teams. To win the Stanley Cup, they're 8th shortest odds. So
does that mean teams are they're not
20?
People are buying it.
24. Yes. Well, FanDuel's reluctant to give great odds because they're worried they'll turn it around and then all of a sudden you're in big trouble.
Right, because they have the potential to run a St. Louis miracle run once. Yeah, I mean, I get that. If they get in the playoffs, they could be scary if it all came together because of what we all thought they were going to be before the season starts. But yeah, I mean.
Well, let me ask you this on an individual level.
Same, right? The group won't be the same if they get there. If they keep going this, the coach is going to change. Something's going to change.
Do you think McDavid has lost his grip on the Hart, on the Art Ross?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, part of the Hart is playing, if you're going to win the Hart on the 17th best team, you got to be miles better. You know what I mean? You got to be miles better than the other guys around you. Is he going to do that over Pettersson or Jack Hughes? I mean, even if he ends up at 135 points, which would be crazy good, right?
Yeah.
But if Jack Hughes has 125 and Jersey has 105 points and they haven't been able to scrape in, given this start, I think, and the nature of voters and the standard with which he has set, yeah, absolutely. I'm taking the field all day long. I don't even care what the odds are.
Yeah.
I'm taking the field all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's. I think the Hart
That's
feels
crazy to even think that we're talking about
11
that.
games in. I wouldn't sell him on the Art Ross yet. Like he could still win that. Like for he could run off 120 points in the next 70 games and no one would flinch. But he looks banged up. He looks frustrated. His line mates they're moving around. There's a number of things going against him.